Okay, so I am going to review powers to powers. Okay, so I'm going to go over page 17, powers to powers. So recall in class we said that when you have powers to powers, let's say we have 5a to the power of 3b to the power of 4, and that the whole thing to the power of 2, that means that we are going to multiply the outside power times all the powers inside. Now the tricky part right here is not to forget that variables or coefficients, that means the big numbers that don't have a power, there is because there is an invisible one. So I suggest you write it down. Okay, make sure if the variable doesn't have a power or the coefficient, put the one there. Once you do that, then you multiply the outside times the inside. So it will be 5 to the power of 2 times 1, 2. Next one, A. 2 times 3, 6. Next one, 2 times 4, 8. When your coefficient is a small number, like 5 or less, and your powers also are low numbers, maybe up to 4, you're going to have to simplify that. So 5 to the second, remember, it is not 5 times 2. It's 5 times 5. And we know 5 times 5 is 25. 25, a to the 6, b to the power of 8. Okay, so the power that's outside multiplies every single power inside the parentheses. So I'm going to go over page 17. If we look at question 2, if you already did that, make sure you check your work, okay? So we have 4b to the power of 3 times 3b to the second power, and all these to the power of 3. First of all, make sure that you understand that the powers, like this one, 2, it belongs only to the b. The power 3 here belongs only to the b. 4 has an invisible 1, and 3 also has a power of 1. So my outside power of 3 is going to multiply every power inside. So we're going to start with that one. 4, 3 times 1 is 3. Now b. 3 times 3 is 9. Next one, 3. 3 times 1 is 3. And finally, b, 3 times 2 is 6. As you can see, you have this here. And we learned that when we multiply same bases, in this case, the base is b. You could put all these b's together. You're going to keep the base and you will add the exponents. Remember, we add when they are on the same level. Now, right now, they're all on one line. So you can count. There's 9 here and 6 here. There's a total of 15. Now, what are we going to do with this, guys? You can leave them like that because the rule says when you multiply same bases, they're not the same bases. So I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to leave it like that. Some of you might want to go ahead and do, okay, this is 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64. And this is 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. If you want to go ahead and do that, you can even leave it like that. You don't need to multiply 64 times 27. Okay, so this is on page 17. Okay, so the front side on 17, you just have the outside power times the inside power. Now I'm going to go over 17b. 17b has some fractions, but you guys have to do the exact same thing. So the rule is the same thing because it's still powers to powers. So on page 17b, I'm going to try question number 12. Okay? Question number 12 says, in parentheses, 6 times n over 2 n to the power of 6 and that to the power of 2. One more time. Power to power. Power to power, what do we do? Multiply. Power to power, multiply exponents. So the little guys, we're going to multiply. So the power for 6, invisible 1. The power for n, invisible 1. The power for 2, invisible 1. And the power for n is 6. So now what I'm going to do, the outside times the inside. So that's 6 to the power of 2. Now, n, 2 times 1, 2. On the bottom, 2 times 1, 2. So 2 to the power of 2. And finally, n, 2 times 6 is 12. All right, almost done. Now we're going to simplify. So right here, since your exponent is small, you could do 6 times 6 is 36. N to the power of 2 means n times n. On the bottom, 2 times 2 is 4. And you have n times n times n, n. You have 12 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. That's expanding. You can see that you're going to simplify these two. And if you take away those two, that means you have 10 left on the bottom. See, if you take out these two, you take them out, there's nothing left. You take 2 from here also, you still have 10 left on the bottom. So right here, I'm going to have n to the power of 10 on the bottom. 36 divided by 4 is 9. Why do I put 9 on the top? Because it's a regular division. 36 divided by 4. You could divide this by 4 and you get 9. Divide this by 4 and you get invisible 1. You don't need to write the 1. Hopefully that helped. Let me try one more. Okay, let's try. There's another one, very simple right here. Well, simpler than the one I just did. Okay, here we go. The outside power times the inside. So it's R 3 times 2. A lot of people tend to add here. I don't know why we get confused. If you get confused on the rules and you're like, I get confused, Ms. Martinez, how do I memorize all these things? Well, you could also do this. Look, R to the power of 3, R to the power of 6. If the outside power is 2, that means you have 2 exactly the same as this. You could write it out again. R to the third over R to the 6th times R to the third over R to the 6th. And now here you have R times R times R. Oh, Charlie. And on the bottom I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, I'm expanding this. On the top, 1, 2, 3. On the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After you do that, you could simplify. Look, 1, 1, and 1. There's 3 left on the bottom. 1, 1, and 1. 3 left on the bottom. There's nothing left on the top, so I'm just going to put my 1. 1 times 1 is 1. And on the bottom, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. R to the power of 6. Okay? That's if you don't remember the rule. The rule says, watch this, keep the base, multiply the powers. 3 times 2 is 6. Keep the base, multiply the powers. There you go. So I have 6 r's on the top, 12 r's on the bottom. If you take out all these 6, there's nothing left. And you take 6 on the bottom, you have 6 left. Same answer as this one. See?